commemorated during the week. On Wednesday, the 26th of June, was International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking. And that's the 26th of June, International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking. You wonder why are people still doing drugs? Now, according to the UN Secretary General, I welcome the theme of this International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking: health for justice, justice for health, underlining the importance of a holistic approach involving health, human rights, criminal justice, and social service institutions. By Resolution 42/112 of the 7th of December 1987, the General Assembly decided to observe the 26th of June as the International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking, as an expression of its determination to strengthen action and cooperation to achieve the goal of an international society free of drugs. Supported each year by individuals, communities, and various organizations all over the world, this global observance aims to raise awareness of the major problem that illicit drugs represent to the society. Also on the Wednesday, 26th of June 2019, was International Day in support of victims of torture. Torture seeks to annihilate the victim's personality and, of course, denies the inherent dignity of the human being. Of course, despite the absolute prohibition of torture under the international law, torture persists in all regions of the world. You remember Jamal Khashoggi? He was tortured, killed, and dismembered. What a gory sight. Concerns about protecting national security and borders are increasingly used to allow torture and other forms of cruel, degrading, and inhuman treatment. Its pervasive consequences often go beyond the isolated act on an individual and can be transmitted through generations and lead to cycles of violence. Torture is a crime under international law. According to the UN Secretary General, he claims torture is a vicious attempt at breaking a person's will. On that International Day, he urged all states to end impunity for perpetrators and eradicate these reprehensible acts that defy our common humanity. On Thursday, the 27th of June, was Micro, Small, and Medium-Sized Enterprises Day. Micro, Small, and Medium-Sized Enterprises Day. You own a small business? That was your day, Thursday. A great source of employment. Since 2017, micro, small, and medium-sized businesses celebrate their day in recognition of their work in local and global economies. These enterprises, which generally employ fewer than 250 persons, are the backbone of most economies worldwide, and they play a key role in developing countries. According to the data provided by the International Council for Small Businesses, ICSB, formal and informal micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises, MSMEs, make up over 90% of all firms and account on an average for 60 to 70% of total employment and 50% of GDP. Now, the General Assembly, recognizing the importance of these enterprises, decided to declare the 27th June Micro, Small, and Medium-Sized Enterprises Day to raise public awareness of their contribution to sustainable development. And finally, today is the International Day of the Tropics. The tropics are a region of the Earth roughly defined as the area between the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn. Although topography and other factors contribute to climatic variation, tropical locations are typically warm and experience little seasonal change in day-to-day temperature. Now, an important feature of the tropics is the prevalence of rain in the moist inner regions near the equator, and that the seasonality of rainfall increases with the distance from the equator. Now, the tropics account for 30% of the world's total surface area and are host to approximately 30% of the world's biodiversity and much of its language and cultural diversity. The tropical region faces a number of challenges such as climate change, deforestation, logging, urbanization, and demographic changes. Do you know that the ecosystem that we are in, the tropics host nearly 95% of the world's mangrove forests by area and 99% of mangrove species? Now, the area of mangrove forest has decreased in all tropical regions since 1980. The tropics have just over half of the world's renewable resources, about 54% of that. Yet almost half their population is considered vulnerable to water stress. Biodiversity is greater in the tropics across the most taxonomic groups, with an equivalently higher proportion of threatened species. Now, for those plants and animals for which there are adequate data, loss of biodiversity is greater in the tropics and, of course, in the rest of the world. If you're wondering, where's Nigeria? We are in the tropics. Of course, the International Day of the Tropics celebrates the extraordinary diversity of the tropics, while highlighting unique challenges and opportunities nations of the tropics face. It provides an opportunity to take stock of progress across the tropics, to share tropical stories and expertise, and to acknowledge the diversity and potential of the region. Are you on Twitter? How well do you do Facebook? I'm saying, are you social media savvy? You listen to Impact Business Radio 92.5 FM, Africa's numero uno development program on radio is on here right now, Development Today. I remain Oladayo Ogunbowale. Ask the question, do you use Twitter? Do you tweet? Are you on social media? How well do you use Facebook? There's a particular story trending on the social media platforms right now. It's about a pastor who people claim who was alleged to have abused a young girl of about 16 years, 19 years ago. Okay, so today we'll be looking at adolescent sexual and reproductive health. How does the sexual activities, doings and undoings of young people out there affect their lives currently and in future? Now, for millions of young people around the world, the onset of adolescence brings not only changes to their bodies, but also new vulnerabilities to human rights abuses, now, particularly in the arenas of sexuality, marriage, and childbearing. Now, millions of girls are coerced into unwanted sex or marriage, putting them at risk of unwanted pregnancies, unsafe abortions, sexually transmitted infections, STIs, including HIV, and dangerous childbirth. Adolescent boys are also at risk as well. Young people, both boys and girls, are disproportionately affected, of course, by HIV, human immunodeficiency virus. Now, yet too many young people face barriers to reproductive health information and care. Now, even those able to find accurate information about their health and rights may be unable to access the services needed to protect their health. Supporting adolescent health and rights now. Adolescent sexual and reproductive health must be supported. This means providing access to comprehensive sexuality education, services to prevent, diagnose, and treat STIs, and of course, counseling on family planning. It also means empowering young people to know and to exercise their rights, including the right to delay marriage and the right to refuse unwanted sexual advances, including rape, where possible. Youth-friendly services are most needed, when we talk about this. When you see NGOs making efforts to ensure that young people get access to the right information regarding sexual health and reproductive health, we must appreciate them. So today I have in the studio, to do justice to this particular issue, from Onelife Initiative for Human Development, I have the programs officer, Famoye Gundokas, and Omojola Tamilore, the volunteer. And we have guests in the studio from outside the country. Yeah, he's abroad now. All the way from Cameroon, we have Nation Fonkam Julie. I hope I pronounced that correctly. So I'm going to be bringing you ladies. I think I'm the only male in the studio right now. Even the studio manager is female. Mary is smiling now. So I'm 1 against how many now? I'm 1 against 5. Wow. Okay. All right. So, ladies, thank you for coming to the show today.
Yeah. Thank you for having us, sir.
All right. Thank you so much. And that's Famoye Gundokas, right? Yeah. And there's Omojola Tamilore, who's also a volunteer with Onelife Initiative for Human Development. Now, Sean, let's hear your voice too from Cameroon. Say hi to people at home. Or you want to do it bonjour way? Say something. They want to hear your voice.
Good morning.
Okay. Or you prefer bonjour? You prefer bonjour, right? Okay. Somebody's saying something now. You might want to say it louder. But I'm sure people want to know, okay, how do those Cameroonians look anyway? They look like us. All right. Now let's go to the topic of the day. And I'm going to start with Drawcast. Okay. I'm sure you guys have a project called is it School Connect now? Or
yes,
School
sir.
Project. What's it about? Especially regarding sexual and reproductive health.
Okay, Project School Connect is one of the projects run by Onelife Initiative for Human Development.
Okay.
And the aim of this project is to provide comprehensive sexuality education to adolescents in school, maybe secondary school. They might be maybe JAM students, undergraduate, as far as they are students or they are adolescents and young persons.
Okay.
So, and also to provide sexual and reproductive health and rights information to enable these adolescents and young people to make informed decisions, and to also provide a platform whereby students can ask questions, they can get answers to sexual and reproductive health related questions, and without being judged, because most time parents and teachers shy away from all this. So we want to provide a platform whereby they can ask and get correct responses.
All right, brilliant. So how do you access these young people? How do you reach out to them? What medium do you use?
Okay, in School Connect, we use the school medium majorly. We go to secondary schools, we seek permission, then we have like 3 to 4 weeks with the students, whereby we treat several topics, ranging from the adolescence and sexuality, risky sexual behavior, menstrual health management, sexually transmitted infections, including HIV/AIDS, sexual and reproductive health and rights, and other topics that we know that they are very, very important for these adolescents. We provide for them in school, and sometimes we even use platforms. Religious platforms can also invite us to speak to students on their platforms.
When you mention schools, I'm beginning to wonder. You go to the tuition ones, the nice-looking schools where everybody's looking nice. I'm talking of the private schools now, or is it across board?
It is across board. We focus not just on schools that are in the urban area, also focus on schools in the peri-urban and in the rural area where they are actually hard to reach. The last school we went to was even like a boys-only school. And most times, the focus is on the girl child, and it actually takes two. So we are not just focusing on the girl, but focusing on both gender.
Bring it on. Let me bring out my crystal ball here. Boys only school, somewhere in Ibadan.
Yes.
Would that be my alma mater?
Oh.
Tell me the name of the school. Starts with an L.
Yes.
Ends with an L. Paint a picture of an average outreach in any school that you've visited. What does it look like, reaching out to these young ones?
Okay. With our contact with the young one, it's obvious that those young ones, they have several questions they want to ask. Immediately we give them the platform, we start talking about issues around abstinence, issues around sexually transmitted infections, and all. They start asking questions. We make use of an anonymous question box whereby they can...
Hold on. An anonymous question box. What's that?
Sir. Okay, it's a beautiful box whereby it's passed around and they can drop their questions without being known. So the name of the student is not there.
Okay.
So this gives them the freedom to drop any questions that they want.
Okay.
And you will be amazed questions that we see.
Give me an example of a weird question.
Okay.
Something media friendly, anyway.
Okay. One of the questions we've gotten from one of the outreaches, we go to different schools actually, is that we were talking about life building skills, how to handle situations.
All right.
And the boy was like, okay, how will he handle a situation whereby he caught his girlfriend with another boy? And we were like, okay, you people are in secondary school.
Like,
we are preaching abstinence.
Committed, like.
And we are trying to tell them to be assertive, not to be angry while talking, and to be responsible citizens.
Okay.
So the young person was trying to ask us, how will he handle that kind of situation? So that is something that you couldn't have asked a teacher or his parent. And okay, some of them they've asked another question that is around, okay, there's a particular girl that he keeps thinking about, or okay, he likes, and he doesn't know how to stop the thought. It keeps distracting him. Those kind of questions that comes up. So they ask questions that things actually bothering them, but they feel very shy to ask people around them.
Okay, enough of the weirdos now. Let's focus on the topic of let's home onto unwanted sex. What's your brief on this particular issue? How do you reach out to young people to help them prepare or prevent actually outrightly unwanted sex?
Yes. We reach out to young people to actually tackle not only unwanted sex, but also every other sexually related sexually reproductive health problems. Okay. And this includes teenage pregnancy, early marriage, unsafe abortion, sexually transmitted infection, sexual abuse, and other things that comes around these issues. So we have a curriculum whereby we treat. So we go to them. We have about 2 topics every session. Then we have several sessions, and we also have the question and answer. So we provide education to them, reasons why they should delay the gratification, and also it is a comprehensive education. So whereby we know that even though we preach abstinence to them, some of them are actually active. So ways whereby they could make informed decisions and they will not jeopardize their health or the health of other people around them.
Permits me to jump to the hand. Let's assume you had this session in a school now. I can assure you people are listening right now and they're wondering, okay, I think I have a teenager at home. He acts weirdly. I think he has started having sex. He might be sexually active right now. Let's say you had a session in a school and people dropped questions. Is there a follow-up? Do you refer them to centers, hospitals? What happens after your sessions?
There are some questions that can be answered in the class right then. There are lots of general questions, but we notice some few questions that are a bit personal. So we try as much as possible to give a general answer, but we encourage those students to meet with us afterwards. And some of them do actually meet with us. Then we can engage with them personally on a one-on-one professional counseling. So after a period of counseling, we look for a guardian or a trusted person that the young person can trust to hand over so that to sustain the the education that we've given to the child.
All right, you're listening to Africa's numero uno development program, Radio Development Today, coming to you live from the stables of Impact Business Radio 92.5 FM. I am Oladayo Ogunbowale, and you've been listening to the voice of Famoye Gundokas. She's a program officer with Onelife Initiative for Human Development. We're looking at adolescent sexual and reproductive health. You are painting a picture of your regular day on School Connect outreach, and I stopped you at the anonymous question box, right?
Yes.
Yeah, please pick it up from there.
Okay. We make the session very interactive, whereby the students, they are at ease. They can ask questions. They also do role play. So whenever we're trying to do, for instance, we can tell them to come up and role play how to say no to a guy that is asking them out. So we just try to paint difficult situations. So when they are active, we know that active learning is actually the best way to teach them. So we're not coming with a cane. No, we come down to their level. We make ourselves accessible and available for them to interact with. So we ask them questions. They tell us what they've learned from even the past class, and they can actually say, okay, they've learned something. And also we tell them to go and replicate what we've taught them. We tell them, okay, go to your friends, teach them what you've taught you, and
peer
come
education.
and peer education, and come and tell us, come back with the reports and tell us what you have learned with this. So it is not just about those people we engage with personally, but it's about the snowball approach we are using from a group of students to reach more students in the school.
Brilliant. Permit me to ask, what's actually informed School Connect?
Okay. We noticed that adolescents, they are a large percentage of population. Currently in Nigeria, majority of the population, about 62% of the population of Nigeria, they're younger than 25 years. And it's, if not only in Nigeria, it's all over the world. And despite this huge bulge in the population, we discovered that they have major sexual and reproductive health issues, because most times they don't have the non-communicable disease and other things that comes up when people grow up. Their major issue is SRH. And when it comes to this, the basics...
You might want to define SRH.
Okay, that's sexual and reproductive health.
Okay,
it has to do with the well-being, the physical, mental, and social well-being, and not just the absence. And the society has not even helped. Most times, parents even shy away from talking about this. There are some students that when the first time they menstruate, they are shocked. If not that they come to school and they talk to them or they teach them of menstrual health and all this menstrual hygiene management, whenever it happens to them at first, they don't even know how to handle themselves. So all this to fill in the gap that has been created by the culture, and even teachers don't even find it easy to talk about this. So we come to fill in this gap in knowledge, to provide the right knowledge for them so that they could make informed decisions.
How easy is that done? Within 30 minutes or 1 hour?
No, we have about 1.5 hour session with them weekly for about 3 to 4 weeks.
Consistently, one single school?
Yes, so we move from a school to the other.
Okay, so you spend like 3 weeks with one single school?
Yes.
And you maintain a single class, or you move from one class?
No, it's the same set of students.
Oh, really?
Yes.
How do you select the students?
They're randomly selected, and actually is willingly. It's not a compulsory class. Those are interested and randomly across board, because we also want a case whereby they can actually undergo peer education. So those that are trained will also go to their colleagues, their classmates in class, and transfer the knowledge to them.
Okay, I was going to come. Okay, finish up.
Okay, we also make our phone line available for them. Whenever they ask questions, we make the official line available for them to call us in and ask questions.
So you run like a youth-friendly center, call center that people can just call?
Yes, generally we do that.
All right. I don't want to ask what kind of questions people have been asking, but let's do this. Okay, now, universal access to accurate sexual and reproductive health information is a major issue. You just mentioned young people going through puberty, changes in their bodies, and all that. Can you run through now? Do you have like maybe should I say crash course now on addressing that? Of course, with respect to puberty now. Let's just limit ourselves to puberty now. How can young people manage this?
Okay, managing their puberty, we actually start by introducing them to what the period adolescence means, and actually what adolescence is, and the relationship to sexuality. So we tell them that, okay, what you are feeling as an adolescent, your inquisitiveness, your willingness to actually explore, to experiment is normal. So we actually first start by making them know that, okay, these things you actually passing through, it's normal. And also we go to abstinence. We talk about abstinence, and we give them practical tips to abstain. And also we talk about life building skills, because we're trying to stop a particular trend in behavior. The best way to stop a negative attitude is to introduce a positive one, not just focusing on stopping the negative. So we're introducing a positive behavior in the life building skills, and also we educate them about their rights. So because if they know their rights, we've had questions about how do they report cases of sexual abuse whereby they are shy and they don't know how to report. So we actually give out our lines whereby we can come in, even if it has to do with legal means, to actually save these young ones. Then also we talk about risky sexual behaviors. That's where we talk about the unprotected sex, how to protect themselves using of contraceptives and all, and the disadvantages of risky sexual behaviors. So we also talk about menstrual health management.
You know, I want to take you up on contraception.
Okay.
There's this school of thought. People believe you should not introduce contraception to young people. I'm just public opinion now. Some people say, when you give them access to be able to, just protect themselves, kind of, it means you are helping them become more promiscuous. Can you educate the average listener on this particular belief?
For young persons in general, in school or out of school, we actually preach abstinence. But when it comes to comprehensive sexuality education, it has contraceptives entailed in it, because we've discovered that young persons, they are the one at the forefront of sexually transmitted infections. Even the UNICEF in 2017 released a report that about 40% of the new HIV infections are among young people in Nigeria. So, we're saying that, okay, they should stop being sexually active, but we discovered that despite this message, these activities are still penetrating. So why not just give them, okay, after everything we've said, if we to be a realist, if you know you are still going to tread on this path, okay, protect yourself. And don't just protect yourself, protect those people around you. Because these young ones, if they do something that is dangerous to their health, they could infect their younger ones at home that are not even sexually active. And by then, it can boomerang in the community. So it is just to protect the health of these ones.
Okay, time check is 4:40 p.m. Destination time 4:55 p.m. here on Africa's numero uno development program, Radio Development Today. I'll be tasking Tamilore now. I'll be coming to you. You're going to drop a words to your mates, your friends out there, people, because I know you've been calm down now. So calm is good, but I don't want to use calm on this station. That's why you're in the studio. So you're going to tell your mates some things. It's still Impact Mrs. Radio 92.5 FM, and it's Africa's numero uno development program and Radio Development Today. I'm coming back to Twitter now, Tamilore. So I'm going to be picking my question from Twitter. Of course, I'm not going to mention names. I'm sure you are aware of what's happening on Twitter right now.
Yeah, I am.
You are aware?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Give me a summary of what you know about what's happening on Twitter right now. What's trending on Twitter? Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm sure of a pastor, a well-known pastor, and then a well-known musician's wife.
Okay.
That the pastor was alleged of rape.
Okay.
And then there's been a lot of different views on the whole.
What's your view about it?
Okay, so my view about it is Sorry.
Yes. What? Yes. I'm not trying to put you on the hot spot for no reason. You're a lady.
Yes.
This thing happened to a young girl of 16 about 19 years ago. What would you say to the average young girl out there who's probably reading this on Twitter and is wondering, are all men bad like this? Or stuffs? I mean, I don't know if you are thinking like that. I hope you're not looking like me like that.
No.
Okay, but what's your suggestion? What's your advice?
Okay.
You have gone through this training. You've gone out on School Connect with people like Dorcas, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what would be your advice for the young girl out there?
Okay. So I would like to say that if there's any young girl like that that's been affected,
Okay.
this is we're in an era where everybody's given the opportunity and the avenue to actually speak up and
Okay.
then remove fear. One of our rights as young people, or one of our sexual and reproductive health rights, is the right to justice, even when we have been coerced or when we've encountered sexual violence. So since it's our right, why not exact it? When you feel something is wrong or once something like that has actually happened to you, you have the freedom to actually speak up and then speak to the rights of the people. That's important.
All right. Now, that thing happened to her 19 years ago. She's just coming out in the public with it. Let's assume, okay, you said they should speak up. What are people who are not just extroverts? People who are just introverts on their own?
Yeah, even for people who are introverts. Okay, so one of the aims of School Connect
Good.
is the ability for each student to be able to know the person's rights, and then she talked about assertiveness.
Good.
Be confident.
Good.
And once you are self-aware and once you know, that's like why the School connects. So you make informed choices. So once something like that happens to you, either you're an introvert or an extrovert, you know the right places to go to speak up for stuff like that.
All right, brilliant. So what would your final word for the average young girl out there
Young girl
in
should
times like this?
Okay, the young girl should make informed choices. There's the internet. Make sure you're actually using the good part of the internet, not the negative aspect of it. And then just be yourself.
Be yourself, and it could be a weird self anyway. All right, it's 4:45 p.m. on Africa's numero uno development program, Radio Development Today, coming to you live from Impact, which is Radio 92.5 FM. I'm gonna attempt to open the phone lines. Even I'm being careful to open the phone lines now because of this trending topic. We are being very conservative here. 0815-192-5925. This is one of the days where you pray that people don't say some things on here. 0815-192-5925. Do you want to contribute to the subject of the day? 0815-192-5925 or 0812-102-4846. 0812-102-4846. Connect to the studio. Let's know your opinion. Let's have your contribution. How do we end this? I'm coming back to you, Dorcas. People have come up to say, okay, here comes the first call. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Good evening.
My name is...
Oh, please, you can call back. You can call back. Feel free to call back. Yes, Dorcas, I was coming to you. People have fingered the lack of morals, moral decadence in a society today. And they've said, most likely, this is why we are where we are. What's your opinion?
Okay, moral starts from values.
Okay.
And these values actually, they are personal. We have universal values and we have personal values. So these are things that, okay, people see as something important to them.
Okay.
They believe it and they take up these moral principles. And actually, it is being taught from when they are young. From the cradle to when you become child or a full-grown adult. So when we talk about morals being out, it still has to do with education and the values those people talking about. For instance, on School Connect project, we have live reading skills is attached to value clarification. So we help this student that we engage to clarify some basic values that they believe in, and things how they could actually learn good values to develop a positive moral.
Well, the lines to still connect to the studio. That person can try it back. It's like probably bad weather or something. You can try again. 0815-192-5925, 0815-192-5925, or 0812-102-4846. 0812-102-4846. Are you a young chap out there? You want to throw in your own comments too? Feel free. Go ahead. Connect with the studio. Let's have your opinion. We're talking sexual and reproductive health here, especially for young people. Especially for young people. I think the call is back. Hello, good evening. Oh, bad weather. Please call back. Feel free to call back. And if 0815-1925 ain't going through, you can try 0812-102-4846. All right, back to you, Dorcas. The rights to contraceptive information and services for women and adolescents. Is there any part of our law that gives young people the rights to have access to these things? Should I know you're not a lawyer, I'm not trying to tell you to quote any part of the Constitution. Is this part of the rights of young people? Talking about child rights here.
Okay. Under sexual and reproductive health and rights, the a young person actually has the right to autonomy and body integrity. And under this, the young persons have the right to education and right to comprehensive sexuality education, and also they have the right to enter, form and dissolve marriages. That is, they can't be forced into early marriage, and they can't be forced to have children when they don't want to. And if they can be forced to have children if they don't want to, that can be linked to contraceptive. So actually, as young persons, they have the right to actually take up contraceptive after being given information about it.
Sometimes last year, this hashtag, was it last year or 2 years ago? Child not bride. I just mentioned rights not to be forced into marriage.
Yes.
How does this apply? Because these days, I mean, some girls just manage to go to secondary school. The next thing, they come up with pot belly, and some don't even wait for any marriage rights. They just move in. And family starts. What advice do you have for the average young people? Because we're already on the home stretch now. What would be your advice for the average young girl, average young boy out there who just wants to do it and get away with it?
Okay, my advice to them is to actually take the safe route, because...
Please hold your thoughts. Hello, good evening. We lost that call again. Bad weather, please try again. Yes, your comment.
Okay, to young people out there, they should know their rights. They have the right to choose when to get married, so they shouldn't be forced. So if they have knowledge about their rights, they could actually cry out to CSOs, even although the right is not implemented in all states in Nigeria. The law is still there, so they could actually call out for help if there's anyone forcing them even to go into an early marriage. And if it is they themselves choosing it, they should know that they should be responsible for every outcome of their decisions.
Okay. It appears somebody just tweeted at me that am I the one blocking their calls because I don't want them to comment? No. So you can actually call into the studio 0815-192-5925, 0815-192-5925, or 0812-102-4846. Your call comes in, I'm going to pick it. That's a promise. 0815-192-5925 or 0812-102-4846. Nation phone camp, Julie is here. Can I call you Julie? I can call you Julie, right?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, brilliant. What will be your own comment for the average Nigerian or Cameroonian too, okay, young girl out there? What message do you have for them? They want to hear you talk. So what's your message for them? That they should live right? Okay, I think Julie's trying to get her words together. All right. Are you ready now? All right, let me go to Dorcas. You're going to bail us out on this. And this is where I'm going. Picking a cue from the ongoing, this trending topic. It's been trending for like 3 days now. What should be the role of religious leaders in helping young people understand their bodies and make the right decisions when it comes to sexual health and sexual and reproductive health?
Okay, religious leaders are also meant to educate young persons on these issues and also provide platform for them to learn. But something I know is that even though they're a religious leader, they're also human. So, but their role is actually to provide platform for these young ones to have access to correct information and services to help their sexual and reproductive health.
All right. Okay, at this juncture, I'm going to ask you for your final words. Because we're already on the home stretch. If you're wondering where you're listening, of course, it's Impact Business Radio 92.5 FM, and it's Africa's numero uno development program, Radio Development Today. I'm your regular host, Oladayo Ogumbo Wale, and I've had in the studio Famuyi Gudokas, a program officer with Onelife Initiative for Human Development, Omojola Tamilore, volunteer with Onelife Initiative, and of course, Nashun Funkam Julie, a visitor from Cameroon. Your final words. I'm starting with Modular Tamilore.
Okay, so to every girl child, not necessarily girl child, to every adolescent and young person out there, I would like them to know that they should stay informed so they can actually make decisions that would benefit them in the future, and they don't make mistakes that they get to regret.
Thank you so much, Dorcas.
Okay, to every young person out there, I would advise you to actually take it slow. Yes, because we're always on the fast ride. But I do tell the students, I tell them calm down. So think twice before making any decision and be ready to bear the responsibility.
We lost the call again. Sorry. That's not me. That's probably the weather. Okay. That will be the much that we can take on the program today. It's time to go. I wish we could continue. But if a call finally finds its way in, I might be able to pick it. Thank you so much, ladies, for coming. We've had Famuyi Gudokas from Onelife Initiative for Human Development. Here comes the call. Let's see who's on the line. Still a bad call. All right. Thank you so much for coming. My pleasure to have you on the show. Yes. Are you listening from somewhere? You have an NGO or you run a CSO and you want some publicity for what you do? This is the program to do that. Development Today gives platform to youth organizations, religious bodies that have programs that impact people's lives positively. Till next week when we meet, let's chat on